Welcome to the new features training for Sage 200 2025 R2 release. In this video we will discuss nominal journal function keys, read-only users and user reports, allocate stock and amend stock allocation within the sales order processing within the web portal, import and export country of origin, import, export or delete stock item suppliers, automatically clear disconnected logins, module colors, and the removal of the Sage 200 manufacturing module. Nominal journal function keys are new to the Sage 200 desktop. They're available in the journal entry, journal template entry, previous year journal entry, and correct nominal journal entry forms. First, let's demonstrate the function keys in the journal entry form. I have selected a journal template used to record straight-line depreciation for some fixed assets and want to include some additional detail in the narrative for each line. Now that I've manually typed the additional detail on the first line, I can use the Shift and F6 function key combination to copy information from the row above and increment any number at the end of the text string by 1. Pressing F6 copies down the same detail from the line above. Let me just increment the next narrative note quickly by pressing Shift and F6 again. One line from the journal is no longer required, so I will need to delete it. I will select the line I want to remove and press F8. I'll balance up this journal and click the Show Function Keys button to get a quick reminder of the function keys available in this form. The same function keys are available in the Create or Edit Journal Template forms, as you can see here. And the same is true for the previous year journal entry screen. The function keys are also available in the correct journal entry forms, making amendments a breeze. The existing function keys, which were already available in the Purchase Ledger Rapid Invoice form, remain unchanged. As function keys are used by many different software solutions, we've introduced the capacity for each user to disable the function keys if they're causing a conflict on their machine. Function keys can be disabled in the preferences found in the Tools menu. Once the function keys have been disabled, a reminder message, along with helpful instructions for re-enabling them, is included at the top of each of the Show Function Keys screens in both the Purchase and Nominal ledgers. Read-only user roles, importing and exporting roles, and reporting which roles and features are enabled for users are new to the Sage 200 Professional Desktop. These features will save time when setting up new roles and using the same role on different sites. To export a role, either right-click on Roles in the Node Tree menu of Sage 200 System Administration, right-click the white background of the list of roles, or click Export Roles and Features from the Action menu. We are presented with a short explanation of what the feature does and why you might use it. We will confirm we want to use it. Let's save the XML file to a convenient location. Now that we've saved the file, let's have a look at the file structure. The file contains all roles and the features assigned to each role. The role name, along with the settings associated with each role. Each feature is made up of the feature name, which group it is located in, and the unique reference which identifies the feature, known as the feature GUID. To find out more about this file format, have a look at the Import Roles and Features help file page. Next, let's have a look at importing roles and features. Again, this can be accessed by right-clicking the Roles node left-clicking the option from the Actions menu, or right-clicking the background of the list of roles and selecting Import Roles and Features. We are going to import a read-only user role which has been prepared by Sage. This can be accessed from the F1 help files. The idea of read-only user roles originates from the Sage 200 Ideas portal. Users assigned any of these roles can only access the features which allow them to view data but not make any changes. We've prepared 3 read-only user roles with access to different modules in Sage 200 Professional. To save an XML file, click the link, right-click on the background of the web browser page that opens, and choose Save As to save to a convenient location. Next, we will import the XML file we've just saved. A summary of the import results appears once the import is complete. The read-only user role now appears in the list of roles. Let's have a quick look at the features of this new role and compare them to the XML file we saved earlier. If the feature GUID in the XML file matches the feature GUID in Sage 200, once the file is imported, the feature will appear as enabled within the role. The read-only role can be useful for users like auditors or trustees who only need to view information. We will quickly assign the read-only role to an existing user. When I open the desktop client, I will highlight a few of the features we have been following through during this demonstration so you can see them enabled. These read-only roles could be used as a starting point for creating custom roles to suit the user's needs, which can then be exported for use on other sites. We have developed a report which shows which companies, roles and features a user has access to. This text file report has a simple structure which can be used for audit purposes. To access the user report, open Sage 200 System Administration, and from the Users list, either select a user and click User Report from the Actions menu, or right-click a user to access the same option from the context-sensitive menu. An explanation of the report and file it will produce appears. I will give the file a name and save it. As it is a simple text file, I'll open it in Notepad. The report shows the username, the companies they have access to, the roles assigned, the role settings, and the features enabled within that role. Here we can see some of the sales ledger features this user has access to. This report can be used to check the level of access of a specific user. Next, let's have a look at the Users report. It can be accessed from the Actions pane, or right-click on the Users list or node. I'll give it a name and save it. It provides the same level of detail as the User report, but for all users of Sage 200 on the site. The read-only user role has been introduced to Sage 200 Standard as well. To apply this new role to a user, open Settings, Organizational and Financial, and User Access. Select a user without administrator access. As you can see, this user currently has no access. Select the read-only user role from the Copy to User From drop-down menu and click Copy. Now when I expand the list of features, you can see list views, inquiry screens, workspaces and reports are accessible for this user. Please note, the ability to import or export roles or produce user reports is only available in Sage 200 Professional. Allocate stock and amend allocations on sales orders are new to the web portal. First, let's demonstrate allocating stock to a sales order within the web portal. This can be accessed from the main menu under Sales Order Processing, and Allocate Stock. A criteria selection page opens. Selection can be made based on a range of order numbers, order priority, promised date, orders raised for a single customer, orders which contain a specific stock item, or stock items from a specific product group. I'll display items raised for a specific customer. If I want to view an order in another tab of the web browser, I just need to click the order number. I can choose which of the orders I want to allocate. Confirmation of the allocation appears on the next page. To view the details of an allocation, click any of the chevrons to expand the details. If we need to make changes to any of the allocations, we can select the line and click Amend Allocations, select the line on the next page and click Amend Allocation. Select Include Fully Allocated Order Lines to see all allocated lines. After selecting a line, we can amend batch numbers. To take stock from a different batch, simply click the line and type the quantity to allocate. In this next demonstration, I need to move a serial numbered item from one sales order to another. This can be done from Amend Stock Allocations. Selection can be made based on a range of order numbers or dates. Selecting orders raised for a single customer, containing a stock item, or stock from a specific product group. This time I will select orders with a specific stock item. After I select the fridge, I am presented with a list of orders which contain the stock item. I can select more than one order and click OK to see the detail of the items on those orders. I will display both unallocated and fully allocated lines at the same time. I will zero the line which is currently allocated, and the system will prompt me to deselect the serial numbers currently allocated on this order. Now that those serial numbered items are available, I can increase the quantity allocated on the higher priority order. I can click Amend Serial Number should I wish to view or change the serial numbers which have been allocated to this order line. We can access stock allocation from the sales order list. Select Orders and click Allocate from the buttons above the list. We can also amend allocations from the sales order list by selecting orders with allocations, clicking the menu trigger on the Allocate button, and then click Amend Allocations. Changes have been made to the Sage 200 desktop to bring the selection criteria in the Allocate Stock and Amend Allocation to Sales Orders screen into line with the selection criteria available in the web portal. We have added the ability to select orders for a specific customer to the Allocate Stock screen. And we've added the selection criteria to show sales orders with stock from a specific product group to the Amend Stock Allocation screen. The ability to import and export country of origin using the import and export stock record routines is new to the Sage 200 desktop. First, let me quickly export all stock records from my stock module using the Export Stock Records feature. This idea was suggested using the Sage 200 Ideas portal and allows for bulk changes to the stock item country of origin. I will edit the CSV file in the online version of Excel. For European countries, you should update the country of origin code cells and leave the name cells blank, whereas for non-European countries, fill in the name cells but leave the code cells blank. I will export a CSV file from Excel. You can find out more about the format requirements of these new columns in the Stock Item Import Format Excel spreadsheet, found in the Product Help files. Let's get the file imported so that we can update the country of origin using the edited CSV file. As you will notice, I have added the country of origin code and name columns to the stock list, and we can see both code and name have been populated for the records that I edited. The ability to make bulk changes to stock item suppliers is new to the Sage 200 desktop. This idea originates from the Sage 200 Ideas portal. Don't forget, if you're upgrading from an earlier version, to enable these new features for each role. Exporting a CSV file which contains the existing stock item suppliers is straightforward. You can see the filters and selection criteria, which include exporting a single item, all items within a product group, or all items supplied from a single supplier, or all items. I will export all items from the accessories product group for this demonstration. I am going to make a few amendments to the file I've just exported. I will add Copane Manufacturing as a new supplier for the coffee maker, filter coffee, and toaster, as well as update the country of origin from France for all Copane supplied goods. Stock item code and supplier code are mandatory fields, with every other field being optional. Now the amendments are made, I'll export this as a CSV file ready for import back into Sage 200. The product help files have details of the file specification, should you wish to find out more. Let's get the amended file imported in to add the new stock item supplier records and amend those that already exist using the Import Stock Item Suppliers screen. A report is produced showing the results of the import process. It shows the records updated and created. I will show an example of a stock item supplier record which was created using the import file, and one of the stock item supplier records which was updated by the import. I have prepared an import file which can be used to delete stock item suppliers. The stock item code and supplier code are mandatory. Once I've exported this as a CSV file, I will import it and show its effects. As you can see, we've had a partial success. We will first have a look at the report detailing the records which have been deleted successfully. and then the report showing the reason 2 records couldn't be removed. I will quickly show one of the stock item supplier screens, which shows the Copane supplier has been removed. Here is confirmation that Copane is the preferred supplier of the espresso, and this report shows there are outstanding orders for the meat slicer. Sage 200 keeps a track of who is logged in. If a connection to the data is lost, or the program closes unexpectedly, the session details are not cleared down properly. This becomes apparent when you are told you are unable to access the module feature because you're already accessing it. Or you can't access this feature because other users are accessing other features, when it turns out they're not even in the program. This would require a user to access the user login status screen and select all the disconnected logins and click log off. We've introduced a new feature to Sage 200 Professional which will automatically remove all disconnected logins every 30 minutes. This idea comes from the Ideas portal. The feature can be enabled by logging into Sage 200 System Administration and selecting the Automatically Remove Disconnected Logins checkbox. Once the process is running, all disconnected logins are removed for all companies, allowing users to access the screens they were working in without the need to contact their system administrator or business partner. To disable the feature, simply untick Automatically Remove Disconnected Logins. The system will finish any current jobs and not trigger the next. This feature is not available in Sage 200 Standard. Module colors are new to the Sage 200 desktop. This idea originates from the Sage 200 Ideas portal. Don't forget, if you're upgrading a customer from an earlier version, you will need to enable the feature before it can be configured in the desktop client. To configure module colors, open the Maintain Module Colors screen in Accounting System Manager. Configuration is easy. Choose a module and set a color. Module colors are set for the individual company and are displayed for all users. This feature can help you avoid confusion if you use forms in different modules which look similar to each other. Color can help the user identify the module and avoid mistakes. For instance, there are 3 examples of a print invoice feature in Sage 200 Professional. They appear in the Sales Order Processing, Invoicing, and Project Accounting modules. Some forms are duplicated in the main menu for ease of access. The module color is taken from the module the form is originally from. As an example, these payment screens originate from the Nominal, Purchase, and Sales ledgers. The majority of modules can have custom colors, with the exception of Accounting System Manager. As an example, the Maintain Analysis Codes and Maintain Accounting Periods have no custom color. The new module colors can be used alongside the existing custom company colors, which are set in Sage 200 System Administration. When we switch back to the Sage 200 desktop client and open a couple of forms, you'll see both the module color and custom company banner color are both visible. The Maintain Module Colors forms are very similar in Sage 200 Professional and Sage 200 Standard. In Professional, the modules available in your license are reflected in the options in the Maintain Module Colors form, and they follow the professional naming convention. In Standard, you will see a fixed list of options which follow the naming convention of modules in Sage 200 Standard. The manufacturing module has been removed from the Sage 200 2025 R2 release, and all support for manufacturing will stop by the end of 2025. Customers who have previously used the manufacturing module will need to follow some simple steps before they update to Sage 200 Professional 2025 R2. Instructions on how to install an update after using manufacturing are available in the installation help and also in the installation guide. Thank you for taking the time to watch this new features training video for Sage 200 2025 R2. Visit the roadmap page if you would like to find out more about what we have planned for Sage 200 in future.